On a stormy night, Princess Aden was born to King Chukwuka and Queen Ifunanya, rulers of a prosperous kingdom. Her arrival was marked by a strange omen, an overpowering smell that filled the air. The royal midwife noticed it first and whispered a warning. "This child is touched by the gods. Her scent will follow her all her life." As Aden grew, her beauty and grace became the envy of all. However, her body emitted an inexplicable odor, one that no amount of perfumes or remedies could mask. The villagers began to whisper, calling her the perfumed princess. Though her parents loved her deeply, they hid her away in the palace, fearing the judgment of their people. Aden's childhood was lonely. She watched other children play in the palace gardens, but dared not join them, fearing their ridicule. Her tutors came and went, holding handkerchiefs to their noses, teaching her letters and history from a safe distance. One day, she confronted her mother. "Why do the servants avoid me? Why do you keep me hidden?" Queen Ifunanya's eyes filled with tears. "My child, you are a treasure, but the world is unkind to what it does not understand." Aden began to resent her isolation, longing for a life beyond the palace walls. On her 16th birthday, Aden decided she could no longer live as a prisoner in her own home. Disguising herself in plain clothes, she slipped past the palace guards and into the village for the first time. The bustling market amazed her. Vendors shouted about their wares, children played, and musicians filled the air with melody. But as she walked, the villagers began to notice her scent. Whispered insults reached her ears. "Who is that? Why does she smell so strange?" Overwhelmed with shame, Aden ran into the forest, tears streaming down her face. In the heart of the forest, Aden collapsed by a stream, sobbing. She felt a soft hand on her shoulder. Turning, she saw a young man with kind eyes and a drum slung across his back. "Are you hurt?" he asked gently. Aden shook her head. "I shouldn't be here. I don't belong anywhere." "I'm Aaron," he said, sitting beside her. "This forest belongs to everyone. You're safe here." Though hesitant, Aden began to talk. For the first time, someone listened to her without judgment. Aden returned to the forest the next day, eager to see Aaron again. He taught her how to climb trees, mimic bird calls, and even play simple rhythms on his drum. One afternoon, as they rested by the stream, Aaron said, "You carry a burden, don't you?" "I can see it in your eyes." Aden hesitated, then confessed her secret. "People think I'm cursed because of the way I smell. They avoid me, even fear me." Aaron smiled. "A scent doesn't define who you are. I see a kind, strong person." Aden's heart swelled. For the first time, she felt truly seen. Weeks turned into months, and Aden and Aaron's bond deepened. They shared stories of their lives, hers of loneliness in the palace, his of struggles as a poor drummer in the village. One evening, as the sun set, Aaron reached for her hand. "Aden, I think I'm falling in love with you." Her heart raced. "Aaron, I feel the same." But doubt crept into her mind. How could they ever be together when their worlds were so different? Unknown to Aden, her frequent absences had not gone unnoticed. A palace servant followed her into the forest one day and witnessed her meeting with Aaron. The news quickly reached King Chukwuka. Furious, he summoned Aden. "You've been sneaking out, meeting a commoner," Aden pleaded. "Father, Aaron accepts me for who I am. He sees past the curse." But the king's anger burned. "You are a princess. You cannot throw away your future for a peasant." Aden's heart broke, but she resolved not to give up on Aaron. Aden continued to meet Aaron in secret, their love growing stronger with each passing day. They dreamed of running away together, far from the judgment of the palace and village. But Aden knew leaving would mean abandoning her family and her duties. Torn between love and responsibility, she began to question whether happiness was truly within her reach. "Aaron," she said one day, "what if my father is right? What if we're doomed to fail?" He took her hands. "Love is worth any risk. I'll fight for you, no matter the cost." King Chukwuka, determined to protect his daughter and the royal lineage, issued an ultimatum. Adan would marry a nobleman of his choosing or face exile. The announcement crushed Adan. She retreated to her chambers, feeling trapped. The life she wanted seemed impossibly out of reach, but Aaron was not ready to give up. "If they won't let us be together," he told her, "then we'll create our own destiny." Adan felt hope spark within her once more. Under the cover of night, Adan and Aaron planned their escape. They would travel to a neighboring kingdom where no one knew of her scent or her royal lineage. "Are you sure about this?" Aaron asked. Adan nodded. "I'd rather live a simple life with you than be a queen without love." But as they prepared to leave, a shadow loomed in the doorway. It was the queen, her eyes filled with sorrow. Queen Ifunanya stepped forward, her face pale. "Adan, my child, you cannot leave." Adan's heart sank. "Mother, I cannot live in this prison anymore. I've found someone who loves me for who I am." The queen sighed. "You think I don't understand? I have always wanted happiness for you. But if you leave, you will bring shame to this kingdom. The nobles will revolt." Adan hesitated. "What is the point of being a princess if I can't be free?" The queen touched her face gently. "I will speak to your father. Just give me time. Don't leave yet." Adan reluctantly agreed to wait, hoping her mother could sway the king. Aaron was less optimistic. "What if it's a trick? What if they're just trying to keep you here?" "I have to trust her," Adan replied. The days dragged on, and no word came from the queen. The king, meanwhile, announced a grand ball to select Adan's future husband. The royal court buzzed with excitement, but Adan's heart was heavy with dread. She visited Aaron in the forest, desperate for solace. "If the ball happens, I'll be forced into marriage," she whispered. "We can't wait much longer." Preparations for the ball consumed the palace. Lavish decorations, silk gowns, and invitations to noble families from across the land created an air of celebration. Adan, however, felt suffocated. Aaron proposed a new plan. "We leave the night of the ball. With everyone distracted, we'll have the perfect chance." Adan agreed, her hope renewed. But as the day approached, a sense of foreboding grew. Would they truly escape unnoticed, or was their love doomed to fail? The palace glittered with lights, and music filled the halls. Adan, dressed in a gown of gold and emerald, felt like a puppet on display. As the guests arrived, she excused herself, slipping out of the grand hall. Aaron waited for her in the shadows of the palace garden. "Are you ready?" he asked. Adan nodded, but as they turned to leave, a voice rang out. "Stop!" It was the king, flanked by guards. King Chukwueka's fury was palpable. "You dare disgrace this family on such an important night?" he roared. Adan stood tall. "Father, I deserve to choose my own life, my own love." The king ordered Aaron to be imprisoned, and Adan was escorted back to the grand hall. The guests murmured, sensing the tension. As the night dragged on, Adan's mind raced. She couldn't abandon Aaron to the dungeons. Somehow, she had to free him. Later that night, Adan's mother came to her chambers. "Your father is furious, but I may be able to help." Adan's eyes widened. "You'll help me free Aaron?" Queen Ifunanya hesitated. "I can't openly defy the king, but there's a secret passage from the dungeons to the forest. I'll show you the way." Adan hugged her mother tightly. For the first time, she felt hope rekindled. Guided by her mother, Adan slipped through the hidden passageways of the palace. The air grew damp and cold as they descended into the dungeons. Aaron was chained to the wall, his face bruised but defiant. When he saw Adan, his expression softened. "I knew you'd come." They hurriedly freed him, and the three made their way through the dark tunnel. When they emerged in the forest, Aaron and Adan embraced, their love stronger than ever. Though they had escaped, Adan and Aaron knew they couldn't stay near the palace. They traveled deeper into the forest, hoping to reach the neighboring kingdom. But as they rested by a stream, strange figures emerged from the shadows, mercenaries sent by the king. "You're coming back with us, princess," the leader growled. Aaron stepped forward, shielding Adan. over my dead body." The mercenaries attacked, and Aran fought valiantly, using his drumsticks as weapons. Adan, though untrained, grabbed a fallen branch and joined the fray. The fight was fierce, but the pair managed to outsmart their attackers, leading them into a trap of thorny vines. As the mercenaries retreated, wounded and angry, Adan and Arin continued their journey, more determined than ever to find freedom. Exhausted and injured, Adan and Arin stumbled upon a hidden village deep in the forest. The villagers, known for their wisdom and kindness, welcomed them with open arms. An elder approached Adan, his eyes filled with curiosity. "You carry a rare scent, child. It is not a curse, but a gift, a sign of divine favor." Adan was stunned. Could her lifelong burden truly be a blessing? The elder, named Obi, explained, "Your fragrance is the blessing of odour, the goddess of unity. It was meant to bring harmony and healing, not pain." Adan was confused. "Then why has it only brought me sorrow?" Obi smiled. "Because those around you did not understand its power. The scent draws truth out of people. It reveals their deepest desires. That is why it caused discord in the palace. But here, it can be a force for good." Adan felt a flicker of hope. Perhaps her gift could help them after all. The villagers taught Adan and Arin their ways. Arin learned how to play ancient rhythms that resonated with the land, while Adan worked with Obi to harness her gift. Obi explained, "Your scent can be controlled through your emotions. If you channel love and peace, it will soothe even the most troubled hearts." Adan practiced daily, feeling more in control of her abilities. For the first time, she saw her fragrance as a gift, not a curse. One night, Adan had a vivid dream. She saw her father's army marching toward the hidden village, torches in hand. She woke in a cold sweat. "They're coming for us," she told Aran. Obi confirmed her fears. "The king's men have been searching the forest. We must prepare to defend ourselves." The villagers began fortifying their home, and Adan knew she had to use her powers to protect her new family. The villagers, though peaceful, were resourceful. They set traps and used the forest's natural defenses to prepare for the inevitable attack. Aran played his drum to rally the villagers, his beats filling them with courage. Adan focused on perfecting her control over her scent, determined to use it as a weapon of peace. As the sound of marching feet drew closer, Adan and Aran stood together, ready to face whatever came next. King Chukwueka led the charge into the forest, his soldiers cutting through the underbrush. When they reached the village, they were met with resistance. Adan stepped forward, her fragrance wafting through the air. The soldiers hesitated, their expressions softening. Even the king paused, his anger fading. "Father," Adan said, her voice steady, "why must we fight? I have found peace here. Can't you let me go?" The king's face hardened. "You are my daughter. Your place is by my side." Aran stepped forward. "Your Majesty, Adan deserves the right to choose her path. If you truly love her, you'll let her be free." The king laughed bitterly. "And what are you? A mere drummer to tell me how to rule my family?" Before Adan could respond, a soldier attacked Aran. The villagers sprang into action, and chaos erupted. Adan closed her eyes, focusing all her energy on her gift. Her fragrance grew stronger, enveloping the battlefield. Slowly, the fighting ceased, and a tense silence fell. Under the influence of Adan's fragrance, the king's buried emotions surfaced. He looked at Adan with tears in his eyes. "I only wanted to protect you, but I see now that I've caused you pain." Adan approached him cautiously. "Father, I've never stopped loving you, but you must let me be free." The king nodded reluctantly. "If this is truly what you want, I will not stop you." The villagers and soldiers stood down, their trust in Adan growing. King Chukwueka stayed in the village for a time, observing the bond between Adan and Aran. Queen Ifunanya joined him, pleading for peace. "Our daughter has found happiness here. Can we not share in it?" The king softened further, realizing the depth of his family's love. After much deliberation, the king offered a compromise. Adan, you may stay here with Aaron, but you must maintain ties to the palace. This village can become an ally to the kingdom. Adan agreed, seeing a chance to unite her two worlds. The villagers welcomed the idea, eager to share their wisdom with the outside world. To celebrate the newfound alliance, the village held a grand festival. Aaron played his drum, while Adan's fragrance filled the air, creating an atmosphere of harmony. The king, queen, and villagers danced together, their differences forgotten. For the first time, Adan felt truly free and at peace. Adan embraced her new role as a bridge between the village and the kingdom. She traveled with Obi to teach the palace officials about the wisdom of the forest. Aaron joined her, using his drum to connect people through music. Together, they introduced the villagers' traditions to the royal court, fostering mutual respect. Despite progress, Adan sensed lingering tensions among some nobles who resented the alliance. She vowed to remain vigilant. One evening, a messenger from the palace arrived with urgent news. Some nobles were plotting to overthrow the king. Adan and Aaron returned to the kingdom, where they found Queen Ifunanya deeply troubled. "They seek to exploit the alliance to divide us," she warned. Adan knew her fragrance could reveal the conspirators, but using it in the palace was risky. "We'll need a clever plan," she told Aaron. Adan and Aaron disguised themselves as servants and infiltrated a gathering of the nobles. As the conspirators spoke in hushed tones, Aaron played a soft rhythm on his drum. Adan's scent began to spread, unnoticed by the nobles. One by one, they confessed their plans, their voices betraying their guilt. Adan and Aaron slipped away, ready to report what they had learned. Before they could leave the palace, the conspirators discovered them. Aaron used his drum to summon guards, while Adan unleashed her fragrance to disorient their pursuers. The couple narrowly escaped, taking their evidence to the king. "We must act swiftly," Adan urged. "The conspirators will strike soon." The king agreed, rallying his loyal allies to confront the threat. The king called a council meeting, summoning all the nobles. Adan and Aaron stood by his side as he addressed the group. "My daughter's gift will reveal the truth," the king announced. Adan released her fragrance, filling the chamber with its power. The guilty nobles tried to resist, but their secrets spilled forth. The conspirators were arrested, and peace was restored to the kingdom. Queen Ifunanya praised Adan and Aaron for their bravery. "You've shown us that true strength lies in unity," she said. Adan realized how much her mother's quiet strength had influenced her. "Thank you, Mother. Your wisdom has guided me more than you know." The bond between mother and daughter deepened, bringing comfort to both. With the kingdom safe, Adan and Aaron returned to the village. The villagers welcomed them back with open arms, grateful for their courage. Obi greeted Adan with a smile. "You have proven yourself a true leader. The goddess Odour would be proud." Adan felt a sense of fulfillment, knowing she had found her purpose. The alliance between the kingdom and the village flourished. Trade routes were established, and the two communities began to share their knowledge. Adan and Aaron traveled often, bridging gaps and fostering understanding. Their love grew stronger with each challenge they faced together. Adan's gift, once a source of pain, became a symbol of unity and hope. Years passed, and Adan and Aaron became leaders in their own right. They built a school in the village to teach children about harmony and respect for nature. Their story inspired others to embrace their differences and work together for the greater good. Adan's fragrance became a cherished memory, a reminder of the power of love and acceptance. As Adan and Aaron grew old, they watched their children and grandchildren continue their work. One day, as Adan walked through the forest, she felt the presence of the goddess Odour. "You have fulfilled your destiny," a voice whispered. Adan smiled, her heart full. Her fragrance, now faint but still sweet, lingered in the air, a testament to the life she had lived. The village and kingdom thrived together, forever united by the love and courage of a girl with a magical scent and a boy with a drum.